Winter arrives differently in the mountains, not like it does in the city, where it creeps under doors and turns breath to mist. Here it arrives all at once, complete, absolute, a whole world rearranged overnight into something white and clean and hushed. The valley below has disappeared, softened away under a blanket of snow that seems to swallow sound itself, leaving only this, only the high, clean whisper of wind across the ridge, only the creak of pine branches heavy with white, only the silence that lives between snowflakes. You came here to learn to ski. That was the plan. Reasonable, practical, a winter holiday with a skill attached. But standing here now at the edge of the mountain, with all that white stretching down and away and the sky so impossibly blue above, the plan feels much smaller than where you actually are. The cold finds you through your layers, not unpleasant, just honest. A reminder that the mountain is real, that this air is real, that your breath rising in small clouds before you is real. Breathe it in. Let the cold wake something up. The equipment rack outside the ski school office is a beautiful chaos of poles and skis, all leaning and clattering gently against each other in the morning breeze, and you're doing your best to extract your own without bringing the whole arrangement down. A hand appears, steadying the rack from the other side. Easy, a voice says, quiet, close, amused but kind. They've been falling on people all morning. You look up, and there he is, dark eyes catching the winter light, his ski jacket half unzipped at the collar, cheeks already touched by cold, a small smile that seems like it's been there a long time. He helps you free your skis without any fuss about it, just reaches past and tilts the angle slightly, and suddenly they come free, cleanly. First time, he asks. You admit that it is. He nods slowly, looks at the mountain a moment, then back at you. The mountain's patient, he says. Don't be too proud to fall. And somehow, standing here in the cold, with your skis finally free and the white morning opening all around you, that feels like the best possible advice. The beginner slope is gentler than it looks from above. A wide white corridor of packed snow tilting just enough to feel like something, That's all of it, really. You fall 3 times in the first hour. Each time the snow comes up to meet you with a soft, surprised sound. And each time he's there, a hand extended, not rushing, not laughing, just present. The mountain's teaching you, he says, the 3rd time, pulling you upright again with easy strength. It's telling you where your weight is, and on the 4th run, something shifts. Your body finds something, some quiet conversation with the snow beneath you, and suddenly you're turning, actually turning, the edges catching and releasing in a rhythm that feels almost musical, and the cold air rushing past your face feels less like assault and more like celebration. At the bottom of the slope, you stop, breathing hard, and he's already there, and his smile this time is different, wider, like he's pleased for the mountain as much as for you. There it is, he says quietly. The chairlift carries you up through a world that becomes quieter and larger with every meter of height gained. Below, the tracks of skiers in fresh corduroy, small moving figures, the tiny geometry of the village, smoke rising straight up from chimneys in the still cold air. Above, pine trees weighted down in white, their branches bowing low, and above them the ridge, and above the ridge just that enormous blue. He sits beside you, his shoulder warm against yours even through the layers, your skis dangling companionably in the air below you, and for a while, neither of you says anything. There's a particular kind of silence that happens on chairlifts, as if the mountain allows it, demands it even, a pause in the human noise, a moment held between ascent and arrival. He points out a hawk riding thermals off the south ridge, barely moving its wings, just being held by the air. How does it know to trust the air, you ask? He thinks about this for a moment, and you appreciate that he doesn't answer immediately, that he takes the question seriously. I think it just tries, he says finally, and the air teaches it. The chairlift swings slightly in the breeze, and his hand finds the bar beside yours, not touching, just close. By the afternoon, you have found something like a rhythm. The snow has a quality in the afternoon light that it didn't have in the morning. Warmer somehow. The crystals catching the lowering sun at different angles. The whole slope shimmering faintly as if it's breathing. He skis beside you now rather than ahead of you. Not instructing anymore, just accompanying. And there is something someone states that the sky is blue, your body knows how now. You just have to let it remember that it knows. And somehow, this strange, uncomplicated faith he has in you that you haven't yet earned is the thing that moves your skis forward. The blue run opens beneath you, and you let yourself go. Your turns are not perfect, but they are yours, and the mountain receives them without judgment. And at the bottom he is waiting, and his face says everything without saying anything at all. The lodge receives you like an embrace. That first moment through the heavy door, when the warmth wraps around you and the cold releases its grip, when the smell of wood smoke and coffee and wool drying near radiators replaces the clean emptiness of mountain air, when the sounds of conversation and clattering and laughter fill the space where silence has been all day. He stamps snow from his boots at the entrance, a comfortable domestic sound, and you do the same, and there's something unexpectedly intimate about sharing even this small ritual. You find a bench by the window, still in your ski jackets, too warm now, but neither of you moving to remove them yet, and he brings 2 mugs of hot chocolate from the counter without asking, setting yours down in front of you with the same quiet sureness he brings to everything. The mug is heavy and warm between your gloved hands, and through the window the mountain is still there, immense and indifferent and beautiful. The last light beginning to turn it pink along the upper ridges. Does it ever stop being extraordinary to you, you ask, watching the light change? He wraps both hands around his own mug, considers the mountain a moment the way you might consider a long friendship. No, he says simply, it just becomes a different kind of extraordinary. The hot chocolate is rich and dark and almost too sweet, and the warmth of it spreads through you slowly, and outside, the mountain holds its last light a moment longer than seems possible. The snow doesn't say anything, just turns toward you, and his gloved hand rises slowly to your face, brushing the snowflake from your lashes with a tenderness that seems disproportionate to the gesture, as if he is being very careful with something fragile, his forehead against yours, the cold of his cheek against the cold of your cheek, and beneath that cold something warmer, something with a pulse to it. The snow falls around you both, unhurried, indifferent in the most beautiful way. His arms come around you slowly, heavy jacket against heavy jacket, the sound of winter fabric against winter fabric, and you feel the warmth of him through all those layers. Somehow, the way you feel the warmth of a fire through a room. He kisses you the way the mountain does everything, gently, without asking permission from time, as if there is no hurry, as if this moment is as large as it needs to be. The valley lights blur and shimmer below. The snow keeps falling. Everything is cold and everything is warm. Later, the lodge fire is burned low and orange, and the other guests have drifted away one by one to sleep, and it is just the fire now, and the window, and the mountain outside, wearing its new snow like something it put on just for this evening, his hand in yours, fingers loosely threaded together. No urgency in the touch, just present. The fire settles, a low creak of wood, and outside the snow is still falling, softly, steadily, covering the day's tracks, filling in the evidence of everything, leaving only white and silence and the waiting morning. Your whole body holds the memory of the mountain today, the ache in your legs from the new work, the cold that has settled deep into your bones and is only now releasing, the particular tiredness of a body that has done something real, something physical and honest. He says something very quietly, something too quiet to catch, and you don't ask him to repeat it, because the feeling of it was enough. Let your eyes close. The fire is warm. The snow is falling. The mountain is there, as it always is. Outside, the mountain is doing what mountains do at night, becoming more itself. The snow fills every hollow, every track and mark and evidence of the day, and by morning it will all be clean again. The mountain returned to itself, ready. You will learn something else tomorrow. The mountain will teach you something else, and he will be there in his unhurried way, watching you find what you already had. But for now, the fire. Rest now.